I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz.
Hello, Drag Race fans. I am your host, 123 Jackie B. We are here to discuss Season 12, Episode 2, a.k.a. the second premiere. With me, as always, Mark J. Freeman, a.k.a. Lorraine Love. Jayla Roxx.
Hey, it's America's favorite black dude. What's going on, everybody? It is me, and I'm back in the building.
Hey guys, it's Ollie, and apparently we're dumb and biphobic. Apparently.
Oh my God! So let's talk about this first before we get into anything. Thank you guys so much for being so invested into our show that you comment rude shit on our comment section, and we thank you for it. Yeah.
I don't read it, so I only hear what you guys tell me.
It's actually really funny.
Yeah.
I kind of want to read comments.
I actually don't read it either. They kind of put it in ketchup
I learned
on my garage door.
I learned a long time ago to not care what anybody else has to say. So.
Yeah, let's get to this after show.
Yes.
Well, my first thoughts on the episode were actually about the guest judges because I was super stoked because I'm a secret Robyn stan and I have been to her concerts and I absolutely love her. So I was really excited to see her. I love Thandie Newton on Westworld. She is, if you have not seen Westworld, she is Westworld, basically. She makes that show. She is such a badass. So I was excited to see them both on this episode. I was a little bummed that Thandie didn't get to come backstage too because I feel like she had like.
Wait, what did you call her?
Thandie. Isn't that her name?
Thandie.
Thandie? Oh my God. You guys, I'm sorry.
She has a lisp. No.
I am really sorry. I'm bad at pronouncing things, so I apologize. But I'm bummed that she didn't get to come back for the Untucked episode because I thought she would have a lot of good advice because she seemed to have it on the runway. So.
Well, she had to go back to Westworld.
Yeah.
Her last
Like, I have to
season.
go
She
film.
did.
Oh, it's the last season?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, but it was really hard to kind of like live up to like the star that is Nicki Minaj, how mainstream she is. So it was cool to have Robyn and both Thandie on there. And they both gave really good critiques. I know Robyn was more so like, she's so endearing and I really do enjoy her. But she was more so like, oh, you were beautiful. I loved it. But like, she's so endearing. I'm glad they finally had her on the show. It's good. Mark, did you like the guest judges?
I did. I don't watch Westworld.
But you said you thought this group was not as strong as yours.
Oh, the episode.
Yeah.
Like the first one better. I just felt like it was a stronger group last week. I tweeted out yesterday that there was one person that really stood out to me this week, unexpected to me, which I'll get into later. I won't spill that beans just yet, but no. But overall, I liked part one better than part two.
Jayla, overall thoughts?
I agree with Mark. For once in my life. I know. For once, I agree with Mark.
It's a real friendship blossoming right here on AfterBuzz TV. So let's go through tops and bottoms of entrance looks.
Okay.
What did you guys think were your favorites, least favorites?
All right. Well, there was only two for me because last episode there were three, which was Widow, Heidi, Gigi. This week, my tops are Jada, Essence Hall, and Aiden Zane. I absolutely love the turquoise, sequin, like,
we're doing entrance looks? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like Jada's giving us like a very like Erykah Badu moment, very India Arie, very Nubian princess. And Aiden's look altogether kind of reintroduces alternative drag back to Drag Race and what she stands for. And I think it was very I love a good latex black wet moment. So if you look like a condom, you're in it for me, okay? So yeah.
I'm sorry.
Did I have you choking on condom?
I like Jada's entrance look too. I actually it seems like she's picking one color for each outfit so far, like as a theme. And I kind of liked that. I was like, ooh, I like this one color theme kind of moment.
I just love how she carries herself. I think she's
so
poised,
gorgeous.
and
she looks like a model.
She is so literally off the runways of the 90s for sure, like Naomi Campbell. And this also gives me a little bit of Hercules, like the Faiths?
The Muses.
Yeah, the Muses.
Yes.
So I definitely look forward to her being on the runway. One of my favorites, and also you already know this, Rock'em Sakura coming in. I don't care. I love Sailor
Is that what that's supposed to be?
Yes,
Yeah.
girl.
Oh, girl.
She looks like Chibi Moon.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
yes.
Now looking at it again, I do see the reference. Okay, at first, because it was really hard to me to see what she was giving because she was like running around the whole place, and I was like, okay, let me not compare you. Let me not compare you, girl, because you're not Kimchi, you're not Trixie. So let me see you. But then she was like all around the workplace or workroom. All right, if you like it, I love it.
I love it.
I loved it because I'm a Sailor Moon fan, and so I was like, yeah, I love it. I actually loved all of her outfits. She has something that's really unique and fun, I think. So
because I think she gets the comparison of Kimchi and Trixie. However, I think her personality is completely something unique, and that's
I was
what I
gonna
really
say that
like.
too.
That's what I really like about her.
I was like, either she has a really great personality, or the cameramen were very generous of editing,
Of like showing her,
giving her
constantly.
camera time.
Mark, what were your favorite entrance looks?
I'm trying to remember everybody.
You like Aiden.
I did like Aiden's entrance look. Okay, Jan. Dahlia. No. I mean,
I would
honestly,
say
I don't care to comment on her. So
I liked SPs.
Sherry Pies.
We can't say her
I
name.
mean, it's
gonna be
irrelevant to
bleeped
even
out.
comment on it, in my opinion. So I'm not even going to comment.
I
on
will
it.
We are
say-
going to discuss it later in the episode.
we're
As we
talking-
know, I just want to let you guys know, like, if you stay tuned, we will be discussing at the end of the episode Sherry Pie's, the fact that she has been disqualified from Drag Race. So
But this is based off of what we've seen on the show. Our beliefs on our talking about has everything to do with the show. Does not reflect what happened after the show. So if I say I like her outfit, that
Yeah.
doesn't mean I'm supporting.
because you're not supporting Sherry Pie. You're supporting the costumer that made her stuff.
Okay.
Who also came out, and a lot of people are sending them a lot of support because they didn't have any idea that Sherry Pie did do that stuff. So it is really heartbreaking for that costumer to realize all of their hard work is now going to be tainted because of what that person did. So
and it's not your fault.
you know, like, it's really hard for, I think a lot of people don't even realize a lot of these looks aren't always made by the queens. They're made by hardworking.
that was one thing I did like about Rockham was that she said she drew the design on.
That was the spring look.
That
on
was the
Oh,
spring
yeah.
look,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
so I get the sense that she has like a heavy hand in what's being
craft,
made,
yeah.
which I appreciate because it is an issue that we've talked about several times in the show where you have people like Chi-Chi who are coming to the show that didn't have a lot of money, and then people who are like seriously taking out loans to come on the show.
Right.
So there's that issue of like, are people buying their way
Yeah.
on or not, or you know.
A lot of them are.
So the mini challenge again was runway. So it was spring and fall looks. And if we want to go through them one by one, Mark can give his quick runway
on, 60
assessment.
seconds.
His 60-second runway.
Yes.
So basically, we're gonna need you.
Yeah, you start with the green dress.
No,
No,
this is the maxi.
Oh,
challenge.
that's the maxi challenge.
We need the ones. There should be two.
They're labeled challenge.
They're labeled challenge, and they're wearing two different outfits in each photo.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
side
spring
by
and a
sides.
fall look. Now,
Damn.
if you want to cue those up, I'm going to go through them all really quickly. So just go from one to the next. I'll tell you when to flip. This is the winner, Aiden Zane. Next. Liked them, not the challenge. Next. Spring, no. Fall, okay.
You have to say who they are because we have iTunes
sorry.
people.
That's right,
who are
right.
trying
This
to- yeah.
is
This is Jada.
Jada. Spring, no. Fall, okay, but whatever. Jan. Spring was at least spring-ish. Fall, no. Go.
Rock 'em.
Spring, yes. Fall, no. I don't get it. No.
This is Sherry Pie. Sherry Pie.
Sorry.
Sorry, but
And that has nothing to do with the situation. This is Sherry Pie we're talking about. They just were neither spring nor fall.
a lot of Sherry Pie's costumes in this
God.
episode to
I'm
me
Jayla this week.
seem to be like outfits with stickers on them.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know.
That's not spring and fall. That's wedding guest and funeral. That has nothing to do with spring and fall.
I like the switch up on this runway.
I would have liked to seen winter, summer winter.
Right. I was
Which
hoping,
was my idea
I was
last
hoping
week.
your idea was
Yeah,
for
I was
real.
hoping so too, but I was.
Oh
Right.
God.
dead.
And
so
for the
dead.
record, they were told to bring spring and fall,
Yes.
and this is what they chose to bring.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite for the spring ones, I liked Rockham's outfit, which was the one where she hand painted or hand drew the cape, because it looked so unique, and I love that she hand drew something. So I really appreciated that, and I actually really did like the koi one too.
Now, is it spring fall
it's
though?
anime couture, girl.
Yeah.
How is it fall?
How's it fall?
Because koi fish in a pond fall.
Do koi fish only come out in the fall?
No.
No.
But like for fall runways, does it really have to be like?
Yes!
It has to be fall. Like I
Yes!
feel like people wear things in the fall that
You're
aren't
on a
necessarily.
competition show. Yes.
But is Aiden gonna go out in that? Is she gonna go out in the fall wearing that leotard
No,
thing?
but the challenge is fall. That's the theme.
But I didn't
of
like.
the...
I think what I gravitate towards more. I loved Rockham's. I loved Jada's. Both of her looks. I even like Dahlia's, even though I don't really like her. But
Oh, I liked her looks, and I liked this.
Well,
I liked
here's
the
the
actual
thing.
look, but it's not the challenge in my opinion.
I think I just like seeing the transformation, like from literally spring to fall. Like Aiden didn't transform for me, and I just think she kind of fell in terms of everyone else. Like this, like I love Dahlia's looks. I honestly really
Wait,
did.
Mark, did you say you like Dahlia's look?
I like the looks. They're not the challenge.
Okay, because Dahlia's second look, with the black poof, I did not get it. It looked like she killed a Muppet and then
Yeah.
wore it, and I just didn't.
I didn't
liked
hate
it.
it. I just again was looking at him going, I don't see spring. I don't see fall.
Jan's Marie Antoinette look, I absolutely loved.
I loved her avocado look for fall. I loved it. I don't care.
I wish it
thought
did
that
not.
was amazing.
I wish it did not have the
Avocado.
jacket. That was the issue, because I felt like with the jacket there was too much going on that you
She
couldn't.
should have taken it
yeah.
off or something, or like strung it around. her
I
shoulder.
feel like just not have it. Just
It's
don't
just
have the jacket.
Too much.
It was too much.
Too much.
And then I like Jada's pantsuit a lot.
I
a whole
love
heck of a
Jada's.
lot.
I love Jada's.
It was so gorgeous. I
To me,
would wear
that's-
that.
to me,
This-
this is spring fall for sure.
This is also like Southern pageant, because they have a category in like the Southern pageants called sportswear, and this is kind of what that embodies, like that very like essence of like very business casual. So I like that she is embodying that like part of her into this drag. Spring says spring because it's flowers on it. Fall, it's just. Would you wear this in the fall?
I would. I said I like the look. I think the fall is. I think hers is probably the only other one that feels like it's the challenge. I just don't love the spring. It's okay. I do think the fall is beautiful, but I don't know that that's what I would have personally worn.
Okay.
But that's me.
Someone in the chat room said I don't get Dahlia's avant-garde black poofy Muppet killing outfit. It's lazy. It's not avant-garde to me. It's just like it looks like you bought it off a rack somewhere and really didn't think
OTR?
about it. Yeah.
I just really like the baby hairs that were laid, you know, like in the look. You know,
But
Yeah.
that's like
so-
consistently her look. That has nothing to do with this outfit. I feel like that's like a her thing.
I was
So
gagged
that's
that they're
something different.
pieces.
yeah, when
Yeah.
they took them out and
Yeah.
she's just like stripping them off, like it's tape.
Jayla, any other thoughts about outfits?
Not much.
Not much?
No.
I noticed these guys had more fake celebrities watching them than the other people did.
Oh yeah,
I
shout out
wonder-
to Sonique and Mayhem was back, and then Kimchi was there.
And Kimchi
And
was
Raven.
there.
But I wonder
Raven.
why they got to have more people watching them than the other.
They were just
people did.
available that
I,
day.
hello. I was just about to say the same
I don't
thing.
think it had anything other than to do with availability.
I mean, they're in LA, so they weren't booked that day. So
Yeah.
it's probably gonna happen.
So the main challenge was choreographing a song, choreographing a dance, and then writing your own lyrics to a song. You Don't Know Me, and they were supposed to do a Bob Fosse-esque dance. Dahlia killed me when she said Fosse is the main character in Chicago. I was like, why did no one come on to just explain to them who Fosse was if they didn't know?
Well, I still don't know who Fosse is, so explain to me.
So Bob Fosse
Is a he,
Is
first
a
of all.
he. He was a famous choreographer. He choreographed Chicago. He choreographed Liza Minnelli.
Cabaret.
He choreographed Sweet Charity. So a lot of theater shows, and then a lot of films made from theater shows.
And something that you can relate to.
Come on, Gabe
he
101.
choreographed the dance that Gwen Verdon did that Beyonce based Single Ladies.
Oh,
on.
I do know this.
So that's Bob
I
Fosse
do know that.
choreographed that.
I have seen that.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
And
Bridging
there's
the
a
gap.
series on FX right now.
Yeah, Gwen.
Well, it's. I mean, it happened already, but if you go to FX, you can watch the series Fosse Verdon, which is about his marriage to Gwen Verdon, who was a Tony-winning actress.
Oh my god!
And I know her. I met
feel
her
so
granddaughter.
educated.
Yeah, we're gonna
Sam
have movie night.
Rockwell, yeah,
We're so gonna
Sam
have movie
Rockwell
night.
plays Fosse, and then Michelle, what's her
Williams.
bucket? Williams plays.
Gwen Verdon.
I keep wanting to say Michelle Visage. I'm like, that is not right.
Big
Plays
difference.
Gwen Verdon. It's really excellent, and then you get to know a lot about Fosse because it's. We think of him so much as a choreographer, but this series kind of highlights the fact that he really did want to perform, and he didn't really get to do that as much.
Okay. Listen, we're gonna have movie night. We're gonna like Fosse our way on down, honey, with some vodka and some popcorn.
I'll be there for the vodka. I don't know about the Fosse.
Right, we gonna Fosse.
I just didn't like this week's challenge in comparison to last week.
Yeah.
I'm That Bitch was top tier.
I mean, they could have
comparison to
did two
this.
versions of it.
This
like,
was-
A
yeah.
side and a B side. And
Have a different rapper, maybe like Nicki not come up. Like
I
have
liked
someone else.
I like Fosse. I liked
was
that it
not-
was like a different, theme. I liked
Well, it
that.
kind of just sucked. Like, yeah, they had the same mini challenge, but I kind of wish they had a similar,
The
like,
same
rapping.
song,
Yeah,
yeah.
like a similar kind of. They'd had a different genre for their premiere, so it kind of was like, kind of.
And it put all the people.
and it
who
wasn't
would
as
have done
exciting.
great. Yeah.
it wasn't as exciting, honestly.
But
Especially,
do you want to hear Jan rap?
yes, I do.
Okay.
I really do think that there was a strategy to here because like they put a main theater person, Sherry Pie, into the act that had like a more theater thing going on. So I think there was a little bit of strategy
Manipulation.
there. Yeah, well, yeah. Knowing like certain people would do better with certain
And
songs.
we know that's how the game goes in the game
Yeah.
of Drag Race.
I just want to see Megan Thee Stallion on as a guest judge.
Okay, well, we can definitely get that for next season. We can call her. I'm gonna text her right now.
My only rant about the main challenge was that Jada and Sherry Pie ended up in the top two, and I absolutely disagree with that because you had Sherry Pie in the workroom explaining to everybody, oh my God, this is Fosse and I know Fosse. And like when they were rehearsing, she was like, you got to do a Fosse like this. Then when she performed, it was Sherry Pie performing. It had nothing to do with Fosse. And so I was like, I don't know why she's getting in the top because she made this big to-do about how everybody needs to like do the Fosse movements. And then she went and did her own thing that had nothing to do with Fosse. And I actually felt like Jan and I did feel like Jada were the two to me that looked the most
Right.
Fosse when they were performing. So I was like, I don't understand.
I
this
forgot about
choice.
Sherry.
Well, if you don't understand the Fosse, we want to know what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching this show. Honey, you know I love my good plugins. And give us a thumbs up if you're watching this live. Let us know where you're commenting from so we can shout you out. And don't send no mean stuff to us because we will show up at your house. And give us 5 stars if you're listening to this podcast in the car, on the road, at work, at the grocery store.
Yes, and Ryder says
Honey.
Jayla is giving me Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey.
Yes, diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jada. You slay.
Are you single?
slay.
And if you guys comment on YouTube or iTunes, iTunes 5-star rating, you could become fan of the week.
Yes, which is a very worthy place to be.
So any more main challenge thoughts? My other thought was that so they start off with the chairs like it's either like similar to Cell Block Tango or
Yes.
to Liza Minnelli. Why do I keep forgetting this?
He had it coming.
Liza Minnelli, you help me with this.
So what was the question?
Liza Minnelli.
Cabaret.
Cabaret. So the chairs looked like something out of Cabaret or Cell Block Tango
Cell
in
Block Tango, people
Chicago.
were saying in the chat.
And none of that came up in the. So I was like, are they actually really choreographing this? Because it doesn't seem like they
that was my
are.
question last week. I was like, for the sake of the camera blocking and everything, like it was too overly produced, and that's what I was saying. But I did fact check from Silky Ganache from last season. She says that they actually have to do their own choreography,
okay.
and they probably do it from like till 3 a.m., get back up at 6 a.m., and then camera operators come in and they block their choreography for the sake of the show, and then they film. So a lot of work. Kudos to them. I didn't like it. Fosse, that girl.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. Because I'm a Fosse fan, I appreciated it. But
they all did good. Overall, I think they all did decent. The only one that was weak for me was Dahlia, and I think that was kind of foreshadowing her demise, honestly. Which is more predictions, but I think everyone did great. I agree with you. I think it should have been Jan and Jada or Jada and Rockham, just because those were memorable. I don't agree with Sherry being in the top because I forgot about her completely in the performance. She didn't do bad.
I think she did the best representation of
Sherry?
Broadway.
Sherry?
No. Okay. I mean, it was Broadway, but to me, for someone who spent so long harping on to the other people in the workout tryouts or whatever it was, that they had to look Fosse, and then she didn't do it herself. I was like, girl.
Well, girl, she is a professional catfisher, so I mean, of course she's not gonna.
Of course she's gonna be good at that.
And then after all that, Jada was the one who looked the most Fosse out of all of them, who was the one who was like, I'm so confused. And I was like, well, girl, you look the best. So.
And she was my main challenge top. That's the only person I put was Jada.
I'm just excited for next week when we don't have to talk about Fosse anymore.
I like Jan too. I'm a Jan stan. I'm not gonna.
And I thought Aiden did very well too.
Aiden looked like she fit into the whole concept perfectly.
Like the lyrics were very very
mystical, magical,
mysterious.
She was the first one, so of course it grabbed your attention. I'm like, what's happening? So that was cool.
So I think Aiden made the right decision to go on Drag Race instead of Dragula, because this will open the doors for alternative drag to start coming into the show and realizing that they don't need to be as glamorous. Or why are you laughing?
Well, what about other queens that have been on the show? So it's like Aiden's not the first one to be alternative.
For the sake of our sake of our new fans that we gain every year, we are gaining a mainstream media. When those girls were on, they were on Logo.
Right.
So when we were introducing Aiden and spooky drag, quote unquote, to Karen in HR, who's watching the show, she's going to, hi Karen, she's going to now realize that, hey, drag is multi-dimensional, so not everybody has to can't be cherry pies, you know?
Yeah.
No, very true. And there's always Dragula to watch if it's not your cup of tea.
And we support it, so
we support everyone.
So the main runway. What were you guys' thoughts on the main runway?
Same, camp same. Next.
I love Rock'ems. That was my favorite one. And then I give Jan an honorable mention for doing the double wordplay with the tool.
Yes. Let's just cancel. Okay, I want to say this. Let's just cancel the whole Michelle hating green myth thing. That let's just dead that, because Ru was wearing green and was looking fabulous, you know. And I just feel like let's just cancel it. Like, we're allowed to wear green again. Like, it's back on. It's a fashion, yes now.
Aiden wore green, and actually I like that Aiden wore a different wig too. Finally, because I love her face. Like, honestly, I really do like Aiden's face, and I like seeing her transform in different looks with that face, if that makes sense. And I really liked it, how she did the glamorous wig.
Speaking of faces, Michelle Visage looked really good. She was pulled back, honey. She was they had to staple those extra staples in it. It was great.
That was tape, not staple.
Let's get to our news and gossip, because I don't want to lose out on this. So for those of you who don't know, BuzzFeed this week reported that Sherry Pie was catfishing people into thinking that they had auditions and then making them strip naked. So then Sherry Pie was disqualified, which the whole thing, I mean, it makes me angry, because that's one of the things I hate about LA, is that you have these people that are predator casting people that either, they want you to do stuff that's not appropriate, so that preying on your dreams, that kind of thing. And so it was very shocking and upsetting.
The best thing that I've learned also being in this industry is like the greatest things that you could ever do for your career is know that everything is not for you, and you can simply say no. The best jobs that I've turned down were the ones I've said no to. You know what I mean? Because I learned something about myself and my self-worth. So then if I'm never picked for something, I'm not going to be upset about it, because I'm like, hey, I still have self-worth, self-love. You know what I mean? I don't need someone else to tell me yes or, you're worthy enough if you know it for yourself. So
it's a crazy situation. I think also, like, don't send death threats, whatever. I mean, what Sherry did was wrong. Absolutely.
And she apologized. I mean, we need to put that out there, too. She apologized.
Right. And, like, do not send her death threats by any means, because I'm sure she's just getting, like, what she did was inexcusable, disgusting. VH1 did the right thing of disqualifying her.
But they should have disqualified everybody that was involved in the other cases too. So,
but also I think it's important to kind of, send a lot of support and love to the victims, and don't forget about them, and also send love and support to the queens that are currently on the show who are hardworking. Some of them are questionable, right? But it's like, I just don't want it to taint the entire season, because it is such an awkward, horrible situation that the fan base is going through, and so many of the other queens have like commented on it, and they want it to uplift the victims, and they don't want it to be this major witch hunt that a lot of the queens are talking about, such as like Evie and Detox. So it's just a mess, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And then we had Aiden and Dahlia say that they do not think trans queens should be able to compete on Drag Race, which is wild because Peppermint won second place in her season. So it's just like, at this point, I don't get what you mean by that anymore.
Move on.
You don't want to say anything? Okay, that's fine. But I want to put that out there so you guys know when you're watching, like, what these queens are saying. Mark, do you have any other thoughts on the episode?
I liked Aiden. I thought Aiden stood out to me. I loved both of her runways. I loved her on the challenge. I thought she should have been in the top 2 for the challenge. And I loved her green runway look. I think of everybody that I watched from the Meet the Queens, she's the one who, my opinion, has done a complete 180 from the sit-down interview to what I saw.
Yes.
She was hands down the standout for me in the whole episode. And kudos to her, and I hope she goes far.
Yeah, it's really good to see Aiden. Like I said, we're Facebook friends, and we've kind of crossed back in Atlanta. So this is like really like a lot of growth. Like we were both like baby queens together. So now it's like to see
Well,
Aiden.
she also made a comment in the Untucked, which I thought was really important too. That she talked about. If you want to do drag, just do drag. You don't have to be like somebody else. You can be your own. I think there's so many queens now that want to look like Raven and want to look like Trixie and want to look like Kim Chi. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with having somebody help you and teach you and learn from them, but it's also making it your own. When I started doing it, I had a drag mother who did my makeup for me. So every time I did drag, I needed her there to put my face on. And then there was a time where I was slowly learning from watching her. And then I started like kind of purchasing the makeup. So I had what she was using so that when it was my turn, I could do it myself. And then I started doing it. And I feel like I do it like she did it, but with my own twist. So I think if we stood next to each other and, her makeup and my makeup, they're similar, but we have our own. So I think I was so glad that she said something like that in the Untucked about just being yourself. Like those are if we pay attention to every season, the ones that we gravitate towards are the ones that are authentic, that are unique, charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. I mean, that's what you gravitate toward. Maybe that person doesn't necessarily win, in your opinion, but I think those are the people that always stand out. I think Dahlia's problem is that she doesn't know who she is. She's so concerned about the way she looks and her hair and being this Aja's
very handsome
family.
person too.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I'm sure she's a nice. She even said that I'm a nice person. I know I look like a bitch and blah blah blah.
But I don't like that because in the beginning you said, "Oh, we just sit around and talk shit about each other or everybody else," and I was like, "Well, that's not what a drag superstar
She's
is about."
a lot of what she said was very contradictory.
Yeah,
she would
because,
say
like
one
you
thing
said-
but I think that's part of it. Is she doesn't really know who she is. I think even though Aiden's quiet, and some people are just quiet. You go do shows, everybody's not running around the workroom like Alyssa Edwards, and by workroom I mean backstage, whatever. Yeah. But, running around talking and making a scene. Some people just show up, get ready, do their number, take their money, and go. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I know it makes for better TV when you have someone like Alyssa Edwards running around. But kudos to Aiden. I think she's true star, and she was the star of episode 2. I did message her to see if she could come join us today because I thought she was in town.
Oh,
but I didn't get. She doesn't follow me, so she probably didn't get the message. But I sent it yesterday. But it's okay.
You can look in her DMs.
Don't look in my DMs.
I'm scared to look at your DMs.
So I just want to put in our quick mirror moment was that Roxx admitted that her mom told her when she was a kid that she was taking meth because she had she had kids basically, and that like damaged Rockham's psyche, and I did, like, every time these kind of moments happen, like my heart does break when you hear situations like that, you know.
Can you imagine the producers behind the mirror, like, okay, how can we make these people cry?
Right.
Let's talk about something that's terrible.
Right.
And then they
when you're writing it down, the little like
gonna come
audition
up.
thing, it's going to come up. Yeah.
And then the producers are kind of like laughing, like rubbing their hands together because they know it's going to get that Emmy-worthy thing they get every year.
It's like Unreal, a little bit like Unreal, the show.
Yeah.
The Bachelor.
Yeah,
show.
like we want her to cry. Talk about your mom. Oh, fuck.
But I do think like
Yeah.
that mirror moment is kind of like possibly she could be like Miss Congeniality, like on her way for like definitely a
Oh,
contender.
she has a great personality. Like, I think she has a really fun
But this is
personality.
only week 1, girl.
Well, who else? But girl, who else is likable on this show with all these scandals coming out? Let's
We
be
like
real.
Heidi and Classic. Listen, she don't have no people to be like catfishing and stuff. She got chickens.
She got chickens to cook.
I felt
She got chickens to coop.
I felt like Rockham. I felt like it was. She was. I felt like it. Halfway through the episode, I think I even tweeted out, "You don't need to experience every emotion in one episode." Like, I just felt like she was trying so hard to have the camera on her.
But
I'm not saying anything was fake. I'm not saying anything was put on.
Okay,
I just
but
felt
like
like it was just a little bit, the opening, coming in and running, like it just seemed like a show. And it just seemed like every time, like even just in the confessionals, the stuff that she was saying, I just felt like, I don't know.
This is just like a reminder of like Silky then. Like this is like
Yes, I
like,
agree.
These girls are
I
gonna come
agree.
on this show and just
Well, I
gonna,
said the same
they're
thing
just
about
gonna
Widow.
try to constantly like get every single moment in. So
Well, it made me think, my first thought was maybe, I mean, not that she obviously knows how long she's going to stay, but I think maybe it may be okay, if I don't stay long, I need to get as much in as I can.
Because DragCon is
You know
coming
what I
up.
mean?
Yeah.
And I felt the same about Jan. I still don't know how I feel about Jan. I just feel like it was very, that I couldn't tell if it was genuine. I couldn't tell if it was put on. It'll be interesting now to see the two groups come together. Because I think
like Widow, big personality.
yeah, I think so too. I definitely, in my opinion, Group 1 was a stronger group. Sorry, Group 2. But that's how I feel.
Well said.
Well said.
So, fans of the week, Mega Bonfires, Aubrey Hastings, and Steuven. Congrats to you guys. And then, Mark, do you have a quote of the week?
I do have a quote. I'm going to try and remember what she said. I literally laughed out loud when they were doing the spring fall runway, and Jaden Essence Hall came out, and RuPaul said, "I think I lived in Jaden Essence Hall."
I didn't even catch that.
I did appreciate
I
that. in
literally
college.
laughed out loud. I thought that was funny.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I am your host. You can find me at 123 Jackie B on all platforms. Mark, where can the people
You
find
can
you?
find me on Instagram and Twitter at the Mark J. Freeman, or if you want to follow my lavish drag life, which is once a year usually,
Groundhog's Day.
you can follow Lorraine Love, LORAYNE LOVE. Jayla.
Oh my God. Yes, and you can watch me flex it on the gram. Follow me at Who is Jayla Roxx. That's 2 X's 3 if you nasty. And if you like my lovely makeup, go to batmecosmetics.com. Enter the code AfterBuzz and you get your little discount, girl.
And I'm Ollie Drennan. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Ollie Jigmer.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.